The pirates thought they had spotted the perfect target. Night covered the Indian Ocean like thick black velvet, and far ahead they saw a solitary mountain of steel drifting without lights, without a flag, and apparently without an escort. In pirate thinking, that usually screams, "Easy cargo." So two skinny fiberglass speedboats, each no longer than a yellow school bus, bounced over the chop. Their battered outboard engines whined, throwing rooster tails of phosphorescent spray that glittered for an instant before melting back into darkness. 8 Somali gunmen crouched in each craft, sweaty palms wrapped around rusty AK-47s and 2 dented RPG launchers. They laughed in the spray, already counting the ransom money in their heads, blissfully unaware that the night was about to grade their life choices. Barely 90 seconds later, their bravado evaporated. That cargo ship was no tramp freighter at all. It was the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, CVN-69, a 100,000-ton nuclear-powered supercarrier, one of the most heavily guarded machines ever stitched together by human hands. Picture an entire small city, its own power plant, post office, hospital, airfield, and fire department, rolling across the sea under a zip code of gray armor plate. It carries close to 5,000 sailors, nearly 70 warplanes, and enough missiles, bombs, and Gatling guns to rewrite the geography of an average-sized nation. The pirates' rifles looked like museum pieces in comparison. Deep inside that steel colossus, sailors in the Combat Information Center stared at glowing radar scopes the size of pizza boxes. The silhouettes of the pirates' skiffs popped up as 2 green blips accelerating past 30 knots. "Small craft, closing fast on bearing 085, the senior radar operator reported. The tactical action officer didn't hesitate. He keyed his headset, voice razor calm. "Bridge, CIC, launch alert helo, set force pro Charlie." High above the darkened flight deck, horns brayed, red beacons spun, and a yellow shirt director sprinted to his shooter stance. In under a minute, an MH-60R Seahawk started blades, squatted on its struts, then lunged airborne trailing sparks of rotor wash. The helicopters angled straight for the threat while the carrier itself held 20 knots into the wind. No evasive turn, no panicked throttle change. Carriers don't dodge fishing skiffs. They let the escort screen chew them up. But tonight, Ike's captain decided to watch the lesson up close. Through the Seahawk's night vision goggles, the pilot saw 2 wakes carving white scars across the black glass sea. "Contact splitting. One skiff bearing right, one continuing direct," he radioed. Classic bait and switch. Works on tankers, never on warships. Back on Eisenhower, the captain ordered extra teeth. From nearby USS Gravely, 2 rigid-hull inflatable boats slapped into the water. Each RHIB carried an 8-man visit board search and seizure team, ballistic vests, night vision monocles, M4 carbines slick with CLP. Imagine a SWAT stack on a trampoline doing 40 knots. The Seahawk dipped low enough that salt whipped off its rotors like sleet. The door gunner shouldered his M240 and counted heads. 4 men per skiff, guns visible. 1 pirate stood tall and brandished an RPG. In that instant, the situation flipped from possible threat to confirmed hostile. "Eagle Eye, tally RPG, request warning burst," the pilot requested. Approval crackled in immediately. BRR, bar R. Tracer rounds stitched the water, geysers leaping ahead of the speeding bow. The first skiff wobbled. Momentum and pride kept it coming. 500 yards out, the RHIB arrived, twin diesels screaming. It slid alongside, rubber sponsons slapping hull to hull. A sailor at the bow launched a flash bang. Thunder, white light, choking smoke. Half-blinded pirates froze. In 23 seconds flat, the VBSS team vaulted, tackled, zip-tied wrists, and cleared the cockpit. Capture complete. Textbook. All the while, Eisenhower never slowed. Steam catapults flung Faye A-18E Super Hornets skyward every half minute. From a distance, the flight deck looked like a choreographed ballet lit by icy blue deck lamps. Business as usual on a nuclear airfield that floats. But the drama wasn't over. The second skiff had peeled away early, expecting confusion. A P-8 Poseidon orbiting 70 miles north vectored a MQ-8C Fire Scout drone to the area. Infrared sensors found it idling beside a too-clean fishing dhow. Coordinates shot down the fleet data line. Destroyer USS Mason peeled off. Another RHIB roar, another takedown, plus a bonus laptop, a satellite phone, and 2 ammo crates stamped in stenciled Cyrillic. Back on Eisenhower, intelligence specialists cataloged every confiscated rifle, dumped phone memory, and photographed RPG lot numbers. One crate code matched an Eritrean smuggling ring tied to al-Shabaab. A simple pirate raid had just revealed global fingerprints. Within hours, a joint task force compiled a target folder thick enough to ground-level a cartel. Analysts in Bahrain updated the regional picture. Satellites nudged orbits. MQ-9 Reapers extended search boxes. 8 men with rusty rifles had poked the wrong bear. Before dawn, while corpsmen treated minor scrapes on the detainees, a Navy JAG lieutenant boarded gravely to convene an at-sea tribunal. Under maritime law, a warship may seize any vessel engaged in piracy, but modern navies layer due process. Biometric enrollment, chain of custody tags, high-res photos of each suspect next to the weapon he held. The officer read their rights through an interpreter. They could remain silent, could request a consular rep. Though Somalia lacks an embassy in Djibouti, yet everything said would be recorded. Rule of law was alien in the beach villages that birthed modern piracy. They listened, bewildered. That bewilderment has a backstory. After the 1990s Civil War, illegal trawlers stripped Somali waters. Fishermen swapped nets for rifles, seeing easy money. By 2008, ransoms hit $150 million a year. Navies pushed back. Operation Ocean Shield, Task Force 151, and hijackings plunged. But the hunger remained, and prop-washed skiffs still gamble nightly for an oil tanker payday. On Ike's mess deck, an old chief told a green seaman the Maersk, Alabama tale, how SEAL snipers saved Captain Phillips with 3 synchronized shots. "These punks tonight are lucky," he grunted over Chili Mac. "Dead men teach nothing. Live ones won't shut up once the cuffs bite." Information, not blood, wins seas. Training for that mindset starts months out. VBSS sailors climb caving ladders in full kit, clear mock engine rooms while instructors fire paint rounds, and negotiate with actors screaming in 3 languages. Seahawk crews drill pylon turns, orbits so tight the gunner's sight never drifts off target. Engineers practice restoring power after simulated torpedo hits. Even cooks learn to flip to MRE distribution if the galley floods. Also, chaos feels like choreography when the real show starts. Preparation doesn't breed arrogance, it breeds responsibility. During the wardroom debrief, the captain sipped coffee and said, "We don't celebrate a shoot. We celebrate a clean intercept." Restraint is power in an age of phone cameras. The Navy's goal isn't body counts, it's deterrence and free sea lanes for container ships hauling sneakers and grain. Every skiff stopped without bloodshed is an advertisement that piracy is yesterday's hustle. News of the failed hijack rippled outward. Smuggler networks dimmed radio chatter. Telegram pirate recruiters posted a blurry photo of Ike's deck captioned "Wrong ship." Fear travels faster than fiber optic cable when a carrier is involved. Sunrise opened like a salmon-pink curtain. From the bridge wing, the officer of the deck watched the horizon glow. Below, ordnancemen armed Super Hornets for dawn recce runs. Air conditioners hummed. The ocean smelled faintly of jet fuel and salt. You could pass sailors joking about movie quotes, oblivious that 8 prisoners slept 2 compartments away. Those pirates will likely face trial in Mombasa or the U.S., depending on jurisdiction. Wherever they land, the story is the same. They chased a shadow and found thunder. Somewhere, a cousin will ask, "Did you really attack an American carrier?" The answer, translated through shame, will be, "Yes, she didn't even slow down." Why is rushing a U.S. carrier the worst business plan on water? Start with distance. A carrier rarely sails closer than 15 miles to any unknown vessel. That bubble is stitched by destroyers bristling with SM-6 interceptors, cruisers with spyglass arrays, submarines lurking silent, and aircraft overhead acting as airborne goalies. By the time you see the flight deck, you have been interrogated, painted, and plotted for minutes. Consider Eisenhower's muscle, her twin reactors power jets for a quarter century without refueling. Phalanx CIWS turrets hear the hiss of supersonic metal and answer with a wall of tungsten. E-2D Hawkeye radar planes paint spirals far beyond the horizon. Add EA-18G growlers that fry guidance systems and guided missile cruisers that can knock satellites from orbit. Sneak-up factor, 0. Yet the Navy's sharpest weapon is psychology. Every watchstander drills going from boredom to battle in a heartbeat. Deck crews practice spin-and-go launches where a jet leaps from cold iron to catapult in 7 minutes. Fire controlmen can swap a CIWS barrel pack in less time than microwaving ramen. Against that reflexive muscle memory, 8 desperados in leaky boats never had a prayer. The Navy didn't merely swat them, it harvested them. Analysts cross-referenced sat phone numbers against smuggler manifests, matched fuel isotopes to illegal depots, triangulated RFID pings from seized AKs to a warehouse outside Bosaso. 8 arrests yielded a mosaic of a weapons-for-cot pipeline stretching from Iran to Puntland. A new target package slid up the chain. Somewhere, planners whispered the 3 most dangerous words in naval vocabulary: strike group tasked. Insurance brokers nudged Gulf of Aden premiums downward. Merchant captains breathed easier. And on obscure pirate forums, one line became gospel: don't chase a ship that doesn't run. Imagine you're Ike's skipper. Would you do anything differently? Fire a Sea Whiz burst for show, buzz the pirates with a supersonic flyby, or keep the silent but deadly approach? Intel captured, 0 casualties? Let's hash it out in the comments. If this breakdown of the world's worst target selection made your jaw drop, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. We dive into real naval stories every week, clips the evening news can't cram into 30 seconds. Want to go deeper? Join the fleet. Perks include loyalty badges, priority replies, and the warm glow of knowing you help haul these sea tales from the deep. Storms will rise, engines will roar, and somewhere beyond the radar horizon, another fast skiff is making bad decisions. We'll be there. Camera on, facts checked, metaphors loaded. Until then, stay sharp, stay curious, and remember, the ocean is big, but a U.S. carrier strike group is bigger.